Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. Guys, today we're going to talk about the most important gift of all, freedom from active addiction. And that's the just for today and a meditation, obviously. Freedom from active addiction. Recovery offers one promise, the freedom from active addiction. It is available to all, regardless of how long the solution has eluded us. Sobriety offers only the promise of freedom from active addiction. It is true that some of us meet with financial success in recovery. Some buy nice houses, drive fancy cars, wear fine clothes, and form beautiful new families. These outward signs of prosperity are not a guarantee just by achieving sobriety. Many never achieve financial success. This does not necessarily reflect the quality of our recovery. We may be tempted to compare ourselves to other more affluent members. It is good to remember why we came to recovery. We came because our lives had become unmanageable. We were emotionally, physically, and spiritually defeated. We came because we were beaten into submission. For addicts, even one day clean is a miracle. When we remember the condition we were in at the end of our run, compared to the feeling healthy and hopeful, material wealth pales in comparison. The spiritual riches, material wealth pales in comparison to the spiritual riches we find in recovery. Just for today, I have been given a spiritual gift greater than any material wealth, my recovery. I will thank God for my freedom from active addiction. And guys, that's very important, you know? I think a lot of times, many people, not so much myself, because I've found the constant state of gratitude, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, but many people early on think they're going to put down the drugs, and then life on life's terms will cease to exist, and that's not the case. But this is why we practice our recovery program. As we progress in recovery, we get strength, we get knowledge, we get wisdom, we find the resiliency that we've had all along that kept us alive through the bullshit that we put ourselves through. You will never be given more than you can handle, and it's all a matter of understanding that, guys. If we allow it to overwhelm us, then it's going to overwhelm us. But if we take things one step at a time, we practice our relationship with our higher power, particularly through prayer, meditation, or whatever your path is, you'll understand that as long as you take a breath, you always stop and react. You know, if stop and respond, not react. If you just constantly react to the bullshit going on around you, then that's all you're ever going to be able to do, and you'll get overwhelmed, and that's how many people end up going back out. We all come into recovery with a trail of wreckage that, you know, varies from person to person, but, you know, it's never fun, it's never easy. But as you will find in any hall of recovery, NA, AA, whatever, there are people with clean time that have been through everything you're going through, and they made it through, and made it through relatively unscathed. You have the wherewithal to get through anything you need to get through, so long as you're willing to just take it one step at a time, look at things in an honest and true manner, and just do the best you can. Make the best decisions. Ask for help where you need help. That is the most important. I'm going to repeat that again. Ask for help where you need help. Guys, a squeaky wheel gets greased, right? Simple as that. None of us can do everything on our own. We all need, there's a reason we do community programs. There's a reason we get together in these support groups and supporting online and these programs, because every one of us can learn something from another, and every one of us can be reminded of something from another, whether you're on the good side of it or the coming up side of it. We're all growing and progressing. We're all dealing with life on life's terms, and we all struggle from time to time. When we get together, those struggles are lessened, right? We find solutions that we need, or even just a shoulder to cry on, or an ear willing to hear you vent, and that's very important, right? Every one of us needs these things from time to time. And just because things are not falling into place just means that you're still working on it, guys. But don't give up. Never give up. That's the most important thing. Never give up. Never go back. Always keep in mind, right? That's why it's so important. It's one of the reasons I love doing these videos. It keeps my history on my forefront. So oftentimes, guys, things are going really good today. I can't tell you how many times I've considered stop saying I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and addict at the beginning of these videos because I'm afraid it might push other people away at the beginning of the video and might slow my audience growth. And I realized, no, absolutely not, because then I'm going to forget where I came from. And that's what's most important. The most important thing for me is to maintain my sobriety. And in order to make sure that that never, ever slips my mind, I continue to address myself as a recovering alcoholic and addict. And very, very grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, because I'm incredibly grateful. I struggled mightily for many, many decades, not years, decades. I have been dealing with one form of active addiction or another, whether it be alcohol or drugs, since the time I was 10 years old. I'm 52 years old. I have 6.5 months of sobriety. It's a long time, guys. It's 40 plus years of misery. And yeah, granted, I had a lot of good times throughout there, right? I mean, it was never like miserable every day, but I tell you, there was no good times at the end. It was, God, I mean, I look back at it and I know that it's a higher power because I know my higher power kept me going. It was by no means myself that kept myself sane, strong, healthy, alive through some of the shit that I put myself through. That's why I so willingly share my story today, because I truly believe that I was carried through all the nonsense that I was putting myself through so that I could be here today to help others overcome. I truly believe it's a turning point in the earth that we're starting to come back together and starting to do good things, because we're at one of those thresholds, guys, with technology, AI, and everything else. We could very easily bury ourselves and end civilization as we know it, but I don't believe that will happen, because so many of us are being brought out to step up today, and I like to consider myself, I'm doing it the best way I know how, and I'm trying to encourage as many others to do the same, because guys, we are the masters of our fate. We have every opportunity to do every beautiful thing and make this place, this world, second to none. Your community, your family, your home, but it all starts with yourself, and you gotta understand that. So comparison is the enemy of joy, guys. So don't look at me and say, oh, he managed to put a business in Harvard and blah 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 blah. A lot of these were given to me, and I'm using them to benefit you, others, right? I'm using them to better myself so that I can help as many others along the way. So these gifts I'm being given them because I'm so willing to share them with other people. And if you find your soul's alignment, if you find your divine path, then you'll get gifts as well, or better gifts, or bigger gifts, or maybe you get a bigger purpose than I do. It doesn't matter, right? All that matters is that you find what's meant for you. I have a little bit of financial stability for the first time in my life, and I could have gone out and blown that and gone on vacation and bought myself a fancy new Harley, and I didn't. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because I've been saving to invest in properties, and I've just found out that, and I'll speak more about this next week, I have an opportunity coming up that's going to basically probably cost everything that I've saved. And that's fine, because I'll just save more money on top of it and go right back to my plan of investing in properties and whatnot. But I'm being given an opportunity to clear up something that's been hanging over my head and holding me back for literally 30, just shy of 30 actual years. Something I've dealt with for every day for 30 years. And it's going to cost me a lot of money, probably just about everything I have saved. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that, because at no other point in my life did I have A, the opportunity to actually do it, and B, the resources to actually get it done. And this is all a direct gift from the universe. And not a straight gift. I've worked and I've earned every penny of it. But my mindset, my outlook, my opportunities, my divine favor is all coming into play to allow me. And again, you guys know full well, as soon as it happens and it's actually done and over with, I will walk you guys through every bit of it, and I'll explain every bit of it. And until it happens, I can't really speak on it, because I could certain things we got to keep to ourselves until we're done with them. And then once they're done, then it'll become public information. But guys, it's amazing to me, right? And it's huge, and it's a huge leap of faith, and it's literally going to probably take everything I have to get it done, but it's going to give me insurance that I can move forward and not have to look over my shoulder, and it's going to open up many, many avenues. It's going to basically give me the assurance that I can do and build anything that I want for the rest of my, for my days, which I can't do all the things I want to do unless I have that complete freedom. and I'm incredibly grateful for it. But these are all things, and I could sit there and say it's unfair that I get. No, it's not. This is part of my path. This is something that's going to be part of my story, and I hope nobody else ever has to deal with, because it's not going to be pleasant, and it's going to cost a lot of money. But I can just live in gratitude for the fact that for once in my life I'm finally able to do it, and we'll talk more about it when it happens. But my point being, guys, comparison is the enemy of joy. You want to focus on what's in front of you. What opportunities do you have? Where can you step up, right? Where can you help somebody else around you? Because if you do these things, guys, this is the vibrational reality, and that's proven fact. There's no two ways about it. Now, what that vibration carries and what it, what it attracts and what it repels is, anybody has their own opinion on that. I go with the what I can prove and what I can see and what I can experience, and I know this much: almost every day, I'm being given new opportunities to step up, and as I do, and as I pick and choose which ones make the most sense for me, another door opens and another door and just expands. I'm being given more and more responsibility, and I'm picking and choosing which ones make sense, and I'm passing off the opportunities to others who are in sobriety and in recovery. Because if it's not, I don't necessarily I'm not able to necessarily do all the work I'm offered, but I take all the work I'm offered and then I hand it off to anybody else that's doing the right thing and up and coming or established and doing the right things. And it's beautiful, right? It's just it's part of the gift of sobriety. It's part of the gift of the family and the community of recovery. Part of my way of being part of my community and helping another fellow recovering addict. And that's beautiful. And the more I do that, the more I collaborate with other people, the more good things happen in my life. And I understand that so long as I continue to do so, that will happen. But I don't stop and look at somebody else that inherited $2 million and say, well, that's not fair. No. That's not me. It's perfectly fine. And as a matter of fact, I think for the first time in my life, I've actually been written into 2 wills. So in the next few coming years, I may actually get an inheritance for once, and I'll turn that and I'll use that in a positive manner. But again, none of these things would happen if I was still out there doing drugs. None of these things would happen if I didn't challenge myself to step up and be the biggest blessing that I possibly can in as many people's lives as possible. Some of these things are coming as direct results of me seeing an opportunity to comfort somebody that was in need and doing so without expecting reward. Guys, the biggest blessings in your life will come not because you manipulated something or saw it coming and worked your way in. It's when you let go of expectation and you just be the best person you can for just that reason, just because you can. Do you uplift somebody's day because you can? You need no bigger reward than that, because it gives you the internal sense of self that nothing else can replace. And so long as you have that radiates out from you, and it magnetizes blessings into your life, and it will attract blessings from areas you will never see coming. I absolutely promise you that. I guarantee you that. I'm perfectly comfortable actually guaranteeing that will happen, because I've seen it happen time and time again in my own life in these past 6 months. It's absolutely amazing to me what is undertaking in my world. And I know it's just going to continue to get better so long as I continue to get better. So long as everything's contingency based. If I start slipping up and I start dropping this challenge for myself to be the best version I can and just start getting over on people and doing things half-ass and taking the quick prize, then all these big blessings in my life will stop building. They'll stop happening. And I'm not willing to let that go. I'm literally challenged myself to let go of definition, to let go of expectation, to just do the work because the work's there to do, and I know it's the right thing to do, and just accept whatever comes my way because I know it's going to be better than anything I could possibly plan. I've got 40 years of broken plans proving that. I know that now. And as I get better, I get more clear. Something I was talking about this morning. Thursday is my day with my therapist, and we were talking about that this morning, and something that I didn't even think of, just came out of my mouth. One of the biggest gifts I've been given is the clarity that I have today. The fact that I'm able to deal with as many things that I can during my week. Like I get more work done in less hours now than I ever thought I could. And if you would have told me that back in active addiction, I would have said, no way, there's no way I could work any harder than I do. Yeah, it's not about working harder. It's about having mental clarity. It's about being able to figure shit out and process more than one thing at a time. Because half my brain isn't worrying about where the next hit is coming from, where the next fix is coming from. I don't have to worry about that. And that opens up this beautiful, beautiful, clean slate And I've chosen to do good things with that clean slate. Not everybody does, you know. The more good you do, the more good you'll get. Simple as that. That's simple law of attraction, guys. What you put out, you receive. If you do good things are going to come to you. You know, if you put down the drugs, your life will get better. If you step up and help another recovering addict, help another person, help another homeless person, you go out and try and uplift everybody you run into in your day, then that many more people are going to see what you're doing and start finding ways to collaborate and offer you things. It's as simple as that, guys. You determine your reality. The harder you're willing to work and the more effort you're willing to put in, the more you're going to get out of it. It's as simple as that. I can't say it any more plain than that, and I can't prove it any more plainly than I do in my daily life. And I'm going to continue doing so. Guys, always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you in the next one.